Okay, welcome YouTubers, this is for the players. This is another Dragon Ball Z deck tech I'm bringing you. This one was actually a request. I'm going to be doing Black Trunks. Let's dive right into it. Trunks is a very interesting personality because he has something I think that can go with absolutely any single style. Initially when I saw Trunks, I was thinking, probably Saiyan would be one of the better ones for him. Then I got recommended to and asked to do a Black Trunks deck tech, and honestly, in playtesting, it's actually quite amazing. It's really good at controlling the meta. His Change the Future power is all too necessary for combat with any style as well. So without further ado, let's take a look at our deck list and see what we got going on with us. This time I'm actually going to start with the Trunks personalities. I think it's a better place to start with this one. They're all about consistency, which makes him an excellent personality, no longer needing anything to make anything work, no longer needing particular cards at a particular time, or having a combo off anywhere. His level 1 lets us look at the top 4 cards of our life deck when we enter combat, rearrange them how we like, and then banish the top card of their discard pile. Our second level, what it does is let us look at either players when entering combat, rearrange the top 4, and then banish any particular card we'd like from their discard pile. Noticing a pattern here so far? Our third lets us step up and rearrange the top 6 cards of our life deck when we enter combat, and then draw a card. Pure card advantage. This is what players look for when we start any new sort of decks. We want to look for how often we can draw new cards, because then we'll have all the spells to do anything we damn well want to do. And his level 4, and just stop right there. This is getting ridiculous. His level 4 lets us look at the top 6 card of any player's deck, put them back in any order we want. Oh my god, are you serious? He's just really able to manipulate time, and because Trunks traveled back in time, I see what you did there. Trunks is able to manipulate and see so much of an opponent's deck and then play and plan accordingly. With Black having so many tools to be able to remove cards in deck, hand and discard pile, combined with his level 1 and 2 powers, we can banish a lot of key cards and linchpins for our opponents, such as the opposing Time is the Warrior's Tool, Piccolo's weighted clothing, any Ginyu ally. Deny them the right to even draw blocks is amazing card advantage in itself. And when it's paired with Black, it's just downright mean. I haven't even gotten onto the Mastery yet, and I'm super excited about what we can do. The Mastery straight up lets us deal 1 extra stage and 1 extra life card of damage. Reasonably relevant, but not overly amazing so far. What is more important is that we can discard a card once per combat to banish the bottom 2 cards of our opponent's discard pile, once again adding to the removal. The real kicker is if it was a style card, they also have to discard a card from their hands. Now, in terms of card advantage, if we have bad combats we don't want to get out of, we can just start discarding cards, get rid of what they've got, and just completely wreck face. Setting up their draw and then removing cards in their hand and then banishing things is just a really unhealthy habit that I really want to get into. Our set of 60 cards is going to start with Trunks Sword Slash, his name card, a 3-off. It's doing more nasty damage to the discard pile and can just make an energy attack unblockable. Black has a lot of energy attacks, so this is really, really relevant, especially when we're setting up our own draws. The Dragon Balls, we're going to be throwing a Dynamic Dragon Ball 2, 4 and 5 for pretty much the same reasons everyone else does. 2 to lower anyone getting too high. Don't do drugs, kids. You get too high and you'll get brought down by a Dragon Ball. 4 lets us wreck Orange Goku's face. And 5 is a great boost for any deck looking to get ahead. I think it's a very important Dragon Ball to throw in most decks. Time is the Warrior's Tool, always a staple, and visiting the past, especially with Trunks on the face of it, for this deck will do absolute wonders. So that's 3 of right there. At the worst, visiting the past, even if we don't get a chance to use it, we can just discard it for the Mastery. But they're staples, so throw them in. We want 3 heroic energy spheres in here too, which if they don't become useful, we can just ditch for the Mastery. But spheres end up working absolutely brilliantly against Namekian style, which is tearing up the meta right now. Throwing in 2 of Blinding Energy move helps us end combat if we need to, especially if we're on the receiving end of something bad. Trunks wants to control everything as much as possible. Getting out of unhealthy combats is important for us. 3 confrontation helps us discard everything that they want and through everything that we had to give them through the filtering even. So that's even more control. We're also going to be throwing in a Singleton TN as an ally. Why? Card advantage. That's why. I bang on this horn enough. Onto the black style cards. We want 3 copies of each of these. Black power up, because we cannot get enough of those cards that end combat. We're looking at 3 of Black Scout Maneuver. Straight up removes anything we hate them playing before they even get a chance to play it. And 3 of Black Searching Technique. This does exactly the same thing, but we don't even have to name them for this card. Black Command is a seriously powerful card. We can pitch it to the Mastery to raise our anger 2 and shuffle it into the deck, which is totally busted. But if we do play it straight, it removes more card in the discard pile and possibly cards from the top of the life deck if they don't have enough because we're banishing too much as it is. Black Corruption will be similar to this, as if it's discarded, we can banish cards from the life deck to pitch it for the Mastery. Once again, if used like it's supposed to be, it will stop an energy attack and then lower anger, especially important against every other deck in existence. Black Interceptor Barrage is a beast of an attack and probably my favorite in the game so far, being an energy combos well with Trunks' Sword Slash, doing 4 life cards and 4 stages. That is a lot of damage in one attack. If it hits, which it will, banishes more cards from the discard pile. Sick of this idea yet? Black Energy Web is another 3 of, because it deals critical. Oh, and your opponent cannot perform energy attacks for the rest of the combat. I'm just saying. Black Defensive Burst, same as Energy Web, but this time it stops physicals. Anger is starting to get important for Trunks, so we need to start piling on the anger effects so we can get higher and higher and start manipulating life decks a little better. Black Hug Maneuver is a great attack, but it will raise the anger, and with Trunks being high on the physical attack table, he will get a little bit of use out of it. Black Concussive Blast is another anger addition, but we can use it to remove cards in their hand, a pseudo way to end combat earlier than expected if we really need to get out of it. Black Swerve lets us further hate on Orange Goku, or anyone else running drills, or non-combats like Visiting the Past, like what I run in every single deck so far. Man, I would hate to play against myself. I'm such a mean person. Black Swirl, if it hits, it will raise our anger, but more important, it's just not to let them play things because, well, we would have already seen their hand, hopefully, if we're playing the deck right. Black Swipe will stop more and more energy attacks and see that more cards are banished. And finally, the last 3 I will be throwing in is Black Flying Kick, because I still don't think we're banishing enough cards from their discard pile yet. And that's the deck. This deck works on the basis of control, waiting for the right time and place to strike and slowly biding our time, getting out of combat when we can, waiting till we have the right key cards in our hand and in their hand, and just being absolutely able to walk over them in one combat. Not letting them play anything they want to play and removing things that they did have a chance to play in the first place. This is a deck that's built for thinkers. It will not suit those who like to jump into a combat all the time, every time. In that case, wait for the Broly personality to come out. I'm sure that's what you're looking for then. Well, how do you like the deck? Is it something you would sleeve up? What would you guys do differently? What would you take in? What would you leave out? Any comments or any questions? You know where to leave them. Until next time, this was for the players.